From the Tibetan Plateau to the East China Sea, the mighty Yangtze River has shaped China for millennia. Stretching a grand 6,300 kilometers, it carves valleys, nourishes fertile plains, and gave rise to some of the earliest Chinese civilizations. Along the way, it passes breathtaking mountain scenery. It's fed by hundreds of tributaries and flows past some of the country's largest and most vibrant cities. I traveled to China independently for more than a decade on several occasions, and in this video I will show you some of the most beautiful places I visited along the Yangtze River. From the rugged landscapes and ancient traditions on the Tibetan Plateau, to the steep slopes of mountainous Chongqing city, from the dramatic first bend of the Yangtze to the historic villages of Lijiang and Zhujiajiao, from the impressive yet controversial Three Gorges Dam to the interesting cities of Wuhan and Nanjing, from the crystal clear waters and lush forests of Jiuzhaigou National Park to the imposing Leshan Giant Buddha, and from the picturesque lakes and tea gardens of Hangzhou to the jaw-dropping skyline of Shanghai. So join me, exploring the majestic Yangtze River. We begin our journey on the Tibetan Plateau, a sparsely populated land of towering mountains, glaciers and frozen lakes. It's in this high-altitude world that the Yangtze finds its origin as the Chongqing River, with tiny streams merging into the source of what will become the longest river in Asia. Often called the rooftop of the world, the Tibetan Plateau isn't just the beginning of a river. It's a place where landscapes and cultures meet. For centuries, Tibetan communities have lived here, closely tied to the land and its rhythm. Monasteries rise against the mountain backdrop, prayer flags dance in the wind, and pilgrims follow ancient pathways. Standing here, the river's story seems to begin not only in water, but also in spirit, quietly shaping civilizations downstream. Although we are unable to visit the actual source of the Yangtze at Ulanmoron in Qinghai province, due to its harsh climate and permit restrictions, we get a sense of these mythical lands by traversing parts of Tibet, including its capital, Lhasa. Arriving here after riding the highest railway line on the planet feels like stepping into a different world. The first views of the magnificent Potala Palace are truly unforgettable. Here we join pilgrims making a traditional kora, a combination of pilgrimage and meditative practice, as they turn prayer wheels and mumble mantras. We explore other parts of the city, including the fascinating Drepung and Sera monasteries, the latter being famous for its daily debating session, where monks discuss philosophical and religious topics inside of their courtyards. Perhaps the liveliest and most spiritual part of Lhasa, however, is Barkor, where countless pilgrims walk around the Yokhang temple, where they perform prostration, a ritual meant to purify negative thoughts and bad karma. We continue our way and have our first visual meeting with the Yangtze at the first bend, near the town of Jiuzhaigou in Yunnan province. After leaving the Tibetan Plateau, the river gathers strength and becomes known as the Jinsha River, fed by countless tributaries that swell its flow. As it reaches Jiuzhaigou, the river makes a dramatic, almost 180-degree turn, carving deep valleys into the surrounding mountains. It's in this region that we find some of China's most famous towns, including historic Lijiang. This town's cobbled streets maintain an old-world charm, despite an ever-increasing number of tour groups. Originally built in the late Song dynasty, Lijiang's architecture contains elements from several cultures, slowly changing the town during the centuries. We also visit nearby Dali, with its iconic 3 pagodas and Longshan temple, and the mysterious Jade Dragon, or Yulong mountain. Made up of 13 different peaks, this range contains beautiful meadows, canyons and glaciers, and can easily be admired from a viewing platform located at almost 5,000 meters. Streams from the snow-capped Yulong mountain flow into the Jinsha River upstream, feeding the waters that soon plunge through the dramatic Tiger Leaping Gorge. This spectacular canyon is one of the deepest and most breathtaking along the Yangtze, attracting tourists from afar. With a maximum depth of almost 3,800 meters from river to mountaintop, it's truly a remarkable sight. After the incredible cliffs of the Tiger Leaping Gorge, the river winds through valleys fed by several tributaries, as it heads towards Sichuan province. Here we diverge from the main river to explore one of China's most beautiful national parks in the Yangtze Basin. With a subtropical to moderate monsoon climate, Jiuzhaigou is a mosaic of green forests, steep mountains and powerful waterfalls. In addition, dozens of turquoise lakes formed by glacial activity are fed by tributaries that eventually join the Yangtze. Further downstream, the fertile plains of the Sichuan Basin are nourished by the Min River, a major Yangtze tributary. Here lies Chengdu, China's fourth largest city, where we visit the Chengdu Panda Base. This place is home to a large number of the country's most iconic endemic species. Our last stop in Sichuan is Leshan, where the Min River meets the Yangtze. Built during the Tang Dynasty in the 8th century, the impressive Leshan Giant Buddha is carved out of a cliff and seems to gaze over this confluence, reminding us of how the river shapes both nature and human civilization. We follow the Yangtze downstream as it broadens towards Chongqing, one of China's largest municipalities. By now the river is truly called the Yangtze, or Changjiang, meaning the long river in Chinese. Over the years the Yangtze has shaped the city, turning it into a major commercial and transportation hub, and attracting people from across the region and beyond to work, study and live. A traveler's first impression of Chongqing can be overwhelming, as the city is built on steep mountains and hills. Gladly, a cable car spanning the Yangtze and a light rail meandering through the tall skyscrapers make it easier to navigate. Nevertheless, visitors can expect to climb a lot of stairs. Chongqing lacks the attractions that other cities have, but it's a fascinating place to witness some of the urbanization process that takes place across the country. While China used to be a country of farmers, it is quickly becoming a nation of city dwellers. And in Chongqing, you'll stumble on a contrasting image at almost every corner. We travel onwards to Hangzhou, a small town tucked between the famous Three Gorges, where steep cliffs rise on either side of the river. Tourists often board cruise ships here, gliding past surreal natural landscapes and catching glimpses of riverside life before reaching the city of Yichang. After flowing through Yichang, the river continues eastwards and meets the famous but also controversial Three Gorges Dam. Completed in 2012, it stretches over 2 kilometers across the river and stands 185 meters high, making it the largest hydroelectric dam on Earth. The dam generates vast amounts of power, increases shipping capacity, and helps control floods. But it has also faced criticism, having displaced over 1 million people, altered ecosystems, and submerged cultural sites. In this sense, it provides a striking example of the pressures human activity places on the Yangtze as it winds towards the East China Sea. Traveling further downstream on the Yangtze, we reach Wuhan, a city that will forever be linked to the global pandemic that changed our world so abruptly. Yet Wuhan is more than just headlines, offering bustling shopping streets, charming old neighborhoods, and incredible bridges spanning the Yangtze. Wuhan is a fusion of 3 formerly independent cities that have grown into one sprawling metropolis. Its history is often compared to Shanghai, with concession-era buildings and vibrant commerce, but the city retains a character all its own. One of the most iconic landmarks is the Yellow Crane Tower, offering sweeping views of the skyline, and the historic Wuhan Yangtze River Bridge. Completed in 1957, this double-deck road and rail bridge was the first modern bridge spanning the Yangtze, a true symbol of the river's enduring influence on the city. Our next destination on the Yangtze River is Nanjing, a pleasant city of forested parks and lakes. Once the capital of several Chinese dynasties, it remains a place where history is ever present. A highlight for many travelers today is the Sun Yat-sen Mausoleum, dedicated to Dr. Sun, a key political figure in modern Chinese history. As a revolutionary, he became the first president and founding father of the Republic of China, the leadership of which fled to Taiwan eventually. Almost paradoxically, he is celebrated as a pioneer of the revolution by the Communist Party. We also look at the moving memorial hall of the Nanjing massacre. This site remembers the victims of the Nanjing massacre, the mass murder of Chinese civilians by Japanese imperial forces in 1937. In just 6 weeks, an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 people were killed. Walking through the complex is a humbling and somber experience, and a stark reminder of the atrocities of war. From Nanjing, we follow the Yangtze further east, where the river's story connects with the world's largest artificial waterway, the Grand Canal. For centuries, this ancient engineering feat linked the Yangtze Basin with Beijing in northern China, carrying goods, culture, and people across vast distances. Our journey takes us to Hangzhou, the canal's southern terminus, famous for its classical beauty and cultural heritage. Today, this city has grown into a sprawling commercial metropolis and a major technology and e-commerce hub. But what attracts most visitors is the mesmerizing West Lake, or Sichuan. Celebrated by emperors and admired by poets, the lake has an almost mythical reputation. It's truly a beautiful spot, with picturesque gardens, classic pagodas, and plenty of activities all day long. Beyond the lake, the rolling hills are home to the Longjing tea gardens, famous for producing some of China's finest green tea. We travel onwards to the heart of the Yangtze Delta and visit Jiuzhaigou, one of the region's historic water towns. With narrow canals, stone bridges and classic houses, walking the town feels like stepping back in time. Away from the busy main streets, quiet back alleys reveal traditional ways of life, where visitors can sample freshly made local snacks like zongzi, rice dishes wrapped in bamboo. We are nearing the mouth of the Yangtze and arrive in Shanghai. Its iconic skyline has become a symbol of the country's explosive economic growth of the past decades and provides a glimpse into the many changes China has undergone. While it's a lot of glitz, glamour and commerce here, Shanghai also has some beautiful historic architecture, attractive parks, tranquil temples and laid-back neighborhoods. Much of central Shanghai sits along the Huangpu River, a tributary of the Yangtze, which flows further north through the delta. Travelers to the city often start their trip on the Bund, a waterfront promenade lined with former Western consulates and financial institutions. Many of these buildings are now used as restaurants, bars and fashion stores, and are a stunning contrast with the modern skyline of Pudong, Shanghai's business district that was mostly farmland only 3 decades ago. Traditional neighborhoods still exist, but they are increasingly rare. Wandering the narrow alleyways of this old Shanghai is an adventure on its own, and it's easy to get lost, both in time and place. This authentic Shanghai, however, is disappearing fast, as many buildings are torn down and replaced by apartment towers and shopping malls. It's the story of Shanghai, a city in constant flux, changing all the time. For our last stretch of the Yangtze, we leave the bustling center of Shanghai behind and make a brief stop at the city's deep-water port. A testament to the Yangtze's vital role in connecting inland China to global commerce. At last we arrive in the river's lower delta, at the Shanghai Yangtze River Bridge, the last major structure before the mighty Yangtze pours into the East China Sea. And that concludes our journey along the Yangtze River. I realize I have only scratched the surface, and you could spend years exploring the regions this majestic river flows through. Yet I still hope this video gave you some travel inspiration, or at least provided a glimpse into the landscapes, cultures and civilizations shaped by the third longest river in the world. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a comment and like, it really helps the channel. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Travel safely.